Hello, my name is Bridgette Ford, and I teach at Gonzales Middle School in Ascension Parish. I teach English 1 honors to 8th grade students. The curriculum we use in Ascension Parish is Springboard. Currently, my students are working with nonfiction texts in the Research Simulation Unit in both 8th and 9th grade Springboard books. I am merging the books to bridge gaps since these students have skipped 8th grade English. Currently, my students are writing essays where they analyze arguments on different perspectives of the topic of the usage of plastic disposable bottled water in the United States. In the lesson videoed, there are 2 content standard-based learning targets and 1 speaking and listening target. My standard-based targets include students being able to correctly cite text evidence that most strongly supports the central idea of a text, and analyze arguments using the 6 elements of argumentation and rhetorical appeals. My collaborative target is that students can revise and edit their essay to make improvements based on the feedback from a peer. My expectation is that students receive quality feedback from their peers to make improvements to their essay. Collaborating around their essay will serve a twofold function. Students will be able to read the work of other peers to mentally compare their own qualities, as well as give and receive feedback of strengths and weaknesses that their partner possesses. They will make improvements based upon this. Prior to this lesson, students completed 2 mini units, one from the 8th grade Springboard book on the topic of distracted driving, and one in the 9th grade Springboard book, using the topic of the value of a college education. During both units, students read numerous nonfiction persuasive texts. While reading, the students analyze the purpose, audience, claim, evidence, reasoning, and counterclaim of each author. They also analyzed which rhetorical appeals each author used to persuade their audience. Appeals include ethos, where authors use credibility, trust, expertise, and personal experience to persuade; pathos, where authors use emotion and passion to persuade; and logos, where authors use facts, science, logic, and data to prove their argument. At this point in the unit, the students are writing their embedded assessment, something that I had to adapt upon completion of the Springboard units because the students needed more rigor in reading and more leap-like prompts. This lesson and unit connect to overall goals because students must leave me with the ability to cite the strongest text evidence, and they need to be able to read an argument or a persuasive text and decipher its purpose and claim, as well as which persuasive appeals the author needs to use or used during the persuasive text. The students in this class videoed are the highest achieving students that currently reside at Gonzales Middle School. They entered my class with either a mastery or advance on their 7th grade LEAP test. So I have been challenged to push them with extremely rigorous materials. Thanks.
Your collaborative target that you're about to engage in now is that you're going to revise and edit your essay to make improvements based on your peers' feedback. I want to remind you guys of the questions y'all created the first day that we began writing the essay. We talked about the author's purpose, the audience, the claim, the strongest evidence. Did they use ethos, pathos, or logos to persuade you? Also, what reasons did they use? We also talked about TLQCE and correctly, legally citing your text evidence, as well as using transition words to make your essay flow smooth. And overall, is the person's analysis accurate? What I want you to do right now is I want you to go ahead. We're going to do a little midpoint spot check. I want you to switch laptops with your neighbor, please. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to read their essay silently. As you read their essay, I'd like for you to create a comment on the side of their essay, and I would like for you to go through these criteria of mastery questions and see if they meet that criteria. If they do not, write them some notes in that comment. I'd also like for you to give them at least 1 glow, something they're doing really good so far, and 1 grow, something that they need to improve majorly upon. Are we all clear? All right, I am setting my timer for about 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes, 3 minutes to silently read their essay. Do not discuss yet. I'll give you time for that. Go. forget self-assessment questions, check their TOQCE as well. Really hone in. Is that person, you read that same article as them, is that person pulling the strongest text evidence, or do you think they might can pull something stronger? If you think they can, go jack that. Don't forget to create that comment box for that quality feedback. All right, I'm going to give you about a minute right now to give that quality feedback if you have not already begun so. Don't forget to reference those questions on the board. That is your guide for your feedback. Remember, a glow and a grow. I love that y'all are referencing those questions on the board as well as checking their formatting of their quotations. Don't just check the format, check the quality of the quotation. Is it strong and persuasive? Anybody need 30 more seconds to finish their feedback? All right, 30 more seconds. I see keywords like remember to identify the audience. Remember to analyze the strongest piece. I love that y'all are giving specific feedback. That's going to give them good guidance to edit their essay. All right, beautiful people, finish up what you are typing. You're going to switch back computers with your neighbor. Facing this way, person on the left, you are going to share first. I want you to give them, verbalize those close, those grows, those things they did well, those things they need to improve upon. Maybe some reminders and things you want to remind them of based on these questions here. Person on the left, this side, you go first. Go.
It's like it is, but you got my things I
love that some of y'all are telling y'all's partners to read actual sentences in their essay out loud to make them hear the awkwardness of them. Got 15 more seconds to finish sharing and then the other person will speak.
But then like that, and you say it's very disgusting. No, we change that up. It's very disgusting. You don't hear that? You don't think that wrong? So you don't think something like some is very disgusting. That don't sound no. What language? The controversial argument.
Other partner, you may take over if first partner is done. Partner on the right, you begin sharing if you have not already done so.
That's very So you don't think nothing was wrong with that first? No. A lot was wrong.
About 20 more seconds to share your feedback. All right, how many of you can honestly say that you received some sort of feedback of something from your partner of quality that you could actually use to change and benefit and improve your essay? Excellent. I want you guys to go and make those small changes now before you continue on with what you were writing earlier in class, okay? All right, go make those changes now. Correct. Correct. One last question I want to ask you guys. When reading your partner's essay, how many of you, let me ask you this question. What is the strength in reading your partner's essay? Besides giving them feedback, how does reading somebody else's work help you? Tracy, what were you saying?
That if they did something good, that you could put it in your article and make theirs.
Okay, kind of like stealing in a way. Yeah, any other reasons why besides stealing from a neighbor?
It gives you a different perspective of how you can word your words.
Okay, didn't we all read the same 3 articles?
Yeah.
So with that, let's say that Ariana reads article 1, she gets one whole analysis from it. Allie reads a whole other article, she gets a totally different analysis from it. Somebody's correct and somebody's incorrect, right? So in reading other people's work, you're able to compare, okay, and fix and tweak. Some of y'all actually went back and fixed your own TLQCE because when you saw theirs, you realized, oh, my period's in the wrong spot or my quotations were in the wrong spot. Excellent job with that. I'm very proud. Y'all go ahead and go back to your essay. You can continue working.
After analyzing the student work, I can see that my students have met or exceeded the lesson's objective due to strong instruction, modeling, feedback, questioning, and collaboration. I know this because of the quality of their finished product on their essays. Next time I teach this lesson, I want to allow the students the ability to choose more specific feedback indicators when collaborating with their peers, so they can give even higher quality feedback the next time. I want them to see the value in peer and in self-assessment. I want them to really embrace the value of reading the work of others because it will make them stronger readers and writers themselves. After filming this video, the students completed their essay. Upon completion, I was able to give them more time to revise. They completed a self-assessment and they worked in groups of 4 in a round-robin rotation for a feedback activity. Here, they were able to give even higher quality feedback than the first time. Since our district benchmark is approaching, I also plan to remediate and review for benchmark exams by having the students do a station benchmark review with the biggest trends of problems I saw in the essays. Stations will include citing text evidence correctly with TLQCE format, evaluating the strongest text evidence, the 6 elements of argumentation, the 3 rhetorical appeals, and organizational and transitional strategies when writing for smooth flow. Thanks.